Gentleman from Indiana, Mr. Banks.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Dr. Scafidi, your testimony was quite compelling, and I want to go back for a moment to your definition of teachers versus everybody else. Are you aware of any federal definitions that do lay out the difference between in the classroom versus out of the classroom cost in education?
Well, the NCES, National Center for Education Statistics, right down the street, they have a definition of who is a teacher and who is not. And they ask states to report that data to them in that way.
Do those definitions perhaps change from state to state as how they're quantified at the state level versus the
I've worked a lot with
federal
state
definition?
personnel data, and states have what are called job codes. And so each public school employee has a job code. And so states could have different definitions, but they're supposed to conform to the federal definition when they report it to the state.
Okay.
Report to the federal government.
In my state, in the state of Indiana, there's currently legislation working through the state legislature that would provide more transparency when it comes to in the classroom versus administrative costs in education. Is that the answer? Is that the way to go? Greater transparency of these dollar figures to show the American people, in my case, to show Hoosiers the incredible statistics that you shared with us in your testimony, or is there a better way to go? Should we mandate a certain metrics of in the classroom versus administrative cost, in your opinion?
Transparency is a great thing because it lets public school employees, teachers, parents, taxpayers, elected officials see the trade-offs, and then they can make better decisions. So yes.
Do you have any examples of where you've seen that type of transparency effectively drive down that startling metric that you provided before?
Not yet. There's strong forces against transparency. So.
What are those strong forces?
So often state departments of education, they report spending on their website, you know, how much we spend in public schools. They often exclude funds. In my state of Georgia, we exclude well over $3 billion a year in funding. And so when state legislators are debating education, when the newspaper is talking about how much we spend in public schools, they report the official number that is over $3.5 billion less than the truth. And the website, it's very Orwellian. It has a spreadsheet. It says, here much how we spend in each district. It has the categories. And then if you scroll down below the spreadsheet, it has a list of included funds and a bunch of fund codes and where they are. Then it has excluded funds and a bunch of fund codes. So we just exclude funding from the total. That seems silly.
Is it, along those lines, is it your opinion that federal mandates and federal involvement in K-12 education has driven up that everything else category?
If you listen to public school officials at the local level, that's the first thing they'll say. And that appears to be true, yes.
Well, thank you very much. Again, your testimony is quite compelling. I hope to share it with everybody that I know back home because it makes an incredible case for how we can do what we need to do to award teachers the salaries that they deserve for the important work that they do. Thank you very much. I yield back.